Hi, I'm Amjad, and
I'm Megan.
we are here to talk about how you, as a church, any size of congregation, can actually leverage the modern technology of live streaming to engage the people in your areas, wherever you may be, and beyond. Because live stream can reach anywhere, anytime, to across continents. So that's the topic of our conversation: how you, as a church, whether you're a small congregation or a large congregation, can harness the power of live streaming to engage your people. So, the way we are going to do it is we are going to share with you what we are doing here at our church. Our church is not that large. Before the pandemic, we were, you know, 80s or so in our average Sunday attendance. Um, and certainly we don't have extra monetary resources lying around. So we had to be very particular about what we wanted and how we were to put this together. So in the next few videos, we are going to show you exactly how we did it and how you too can do this. But before we talk about anything else, let's just take a very quick look at what is it that we are doing. What does our production look like?
Believers who were in Judea heard that the Gentiles had also accepted the
Our
word of
faith
God.
through the words of the Nicene Creed. At this time, I invite you to a time of prayer, a time where the Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Thanks be to God. Alleluia. Alleluia.
Some of the technologies that we are using are NDI, and we are using MIDI, and we are using DANTE. And all these may sound like, wow, what are these things? Well, we are going to simplify them for you. Some of the softwares we use are in broad categories is known as DAW. We use three different kinds of DAWs. DAW is a digital audio workstation. So we use one for our actual live worship service. We use another one to process the sound and produce it. And then the third one is an online one, which we use to bring people from various parts of the country to come together and sing with us. So that's one large area of the audio production that we do. And then for video production, we use NDI, as I said, but NDI is a protocol. The main software we use is called, it's a switcher, and in our case, it's called Studio 6. And then the third category of things that we use is actually for the projection of lyrics and prayers and sometimes videos. And that's any presentation software that you can build into it. Monetary resources, but also people, human resource. How many people do we need to put this together? And we want to share with you that you can do this literally with just one person, because you can automate everything to make that production. So, sounds exciting?
It does sound exciting. So I have to ask, maybe a lot of people might be wondering, why? Why would you go through all this? All this software seems very confusing. Why would you do that? Why would you even make the effort, even as a small church? And what is the purpose?
That's an excellent question, Megan, because I think a lot of churches struggle with that question. Frankly, I know of churches that did try to live stream and during the pandemic, and then as the pandemic was sort of receding, we are hoping it's receding, um, churches started to ask this question. Once we come back into our worship spaces, what is the need for this? So yes, a brief response to that would be, uh, remember that place, Megan, where Nicodemus comes to Jesus? And what does the Holy Scripture tell us? That he came to Jesus by night, right? He came to Jesus by night. Now, we have a very interesting ministry here at our church. We do a thing called Blessing Box. So people can give and people can take whatever food items they need. And what we are observing is something very interesting, that those who give usually come during the daytime, after work or before going to work, they'll stop by and leave something in the box. And those who come to take from the box usually come either very early in the morning or very late when it's dark. So the question is, why do people do that? The fact is that if you have spiritual hunger like Nicodemus did, you probably do not wish to be seen, right? And so a lot of people find it difficult to come into a church because the moment they walk into a church, they are seen, right? So we have discovered, and it's not only us, a lot of people are discovering, and churches are discovering, that their work online is being followed, watched, observed, heard by a lot of people. And it's like the darkness, if you will, or the protection, if you will, of the online where people are not face to face, that we as churches have an opportunity to reach the world with the gospel message. And the hope is that people will receive the gospel message, and then God will work in their hearts, and there will be a day when they would like to step into a church. And we are actually experiencing that. Every person who has joined our church in the last 6 months to a year reports to us that they were following our live stream for at least a year.
Wow. So it's all about getting the message out. And it's all about people. It's all about people.
Right. And so how the question really is, yes, why? And then if we feel that we have to, because every church wants to do that. Every church wants to get the message out. So that's why we are here, because we feel that we can share with you our experience of how we did it, because we know that if we could do it, you can do it too. Stay tuned for the next episode where we are going to go deep into how we do it.